Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, hi, welcome. My name is Adora and you're watching Life with Ada Veke. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, comment, turn on the notification bell so that you can be the first person to see my content. I know you were watching my vlogs, you were seeing me, living life over Christmas. That's over now, yes. But as you can see, I have some guests with me and you might remember them. See, one thing about me, if I promise you guys something, I live up to my promise. And about a year ago, I told you guys when I made a video with these same two people that we'll be back when our clerkships are over so that we can come and gist you guys what happened, because we went, we saw, and we conquered, clearly. So that's why we are here. So you guys want to introduce yourselves again?
Yes. Hi, my name is Alaba. I am now a third year / fourth year medical student.
The young shall grow.
Look at us, we're different now. Yes, I'm Adora's friend.
And
Hi, I'm Jessie. I'm also a third / fourth year student. Yeah, that's all I got. If you saw the last video, you can tell that time has passed because my hair has gotten pretty long.
True. We actually have someone else here today. Alia, do you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm here from World Support.
So Alia is also one of our classmates. She also underwent this journey with us. So I just want to say that it's now a year, almost to the day, maybe 3 days after a year since we made that video, and I'm going to link the video in the description box and everywhere. It's probably going to be up above, so you can go. I actually suggest that you pause this video, go and watch the video from last year, and then before you come back to watch this one, so that when we are talking about our experiences, you can be like, wow, they were so delusional, or you can be like, wow, they really lived up to what they said they were going to do. So I really suggest that you watch that video first, and especially because some of the questions that I'm going to be asking us, they are questions that we already answered last year, so you can see whether our answers the same, are they different, like did anything change, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Down, as you guys know, I'm just looking at my questions. So the first question I have is, what did you start with? So which rotation did you start with, and how was it? How was the experience starting with whatever you started with? Jessie?
Okay. So I started with surgery, and how was that experience? It was a lot. I think it was just very busy. I definitely was just like thrown into rotations. I think that was a good thing overall, just because like it was so fast paced that I honestly didn't really have that much time to process what was going on, but maybe that was for the best, because then it was just like there was so much stuff to do that I was just like, okay, like go, and I didn't have time to like psych myself out or like worry about other things, I guess. I would say like it was really busy in the sense of like the hours were pretty long. But again, because I didn't have anything to compare it to, I was just like, okay, well, I guess like rotations are going to be hard. So like, this is what hard is, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then it was only after I started doing other rotations that I realized that it wasn't supposed to be as hard as that.
So, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
I really suffered.
Basically, yeah.
But what did you start with, and how was it?
Well, I started with pediatrics and I felt it was nice. My first day was newborn nursery. That was like 1 week of just, babies and primary care. I actually really enjoyed my pediatric rotation a lot more than I thought, because every day I would leave and I would be smiling, which is something that doesn't happen in any other rotation I discovered. But they were very adorable, just working with it was still a tough rotation, of course. Like there were unforeseen consequences of starting at first because it was rough, but otherwise, like as an experience, it was just something that I felt was very positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I started with like the medicine block, specifically with primary care. And I really like that I started with primary care. You guys, if you haven't watched it already, like when I did primary care, I did a whole the good, the bad, and ugly about my primary care rotation. So I liked starting with it because it was just me and the attending. There was no residents. I felt like somebody could like baby me and hold my hand through the very first rotation. And I really like that. If I had the opportunity, I would do exactly the same thing for me, just because of the experience I had and where I was. I really enjoyed starting with primary care. Can you remind us what your order was and did you like it? So at the end of the day, the order, whether you picked it for yourself or whether it was picked for you, did you end up liking the order and also maybe the locations that you ended up doing your rotations at?
So as I said, I started with surgery, then I did OB-GYN, peds, then psych, neuro, and then primary care and IM last. And I would say that I liked that order again because like surgery was again for me like really just like boom boom boom. And then OB-GYN was a lot more like OR time than I expected at first. So I liked that I had OB-GYN right after surgery because then I was like already used to like being in the OR, and then also it wasn't like I like had a break and then had to jump back into like the OR pace of things. And then I think it was nice to have like peds and psych and neuro in the middle, like when I was starting to get kind of like burnt out. And then I liked primary care and IM last because I feel like this last block was finally when I was able to understand and like put everything together and be like, oh yeah, like I remember this from other rotations or whatever, but then actually being in the hospital and taking care of patients, I felt like I actually kind of knew what I was doing, like actually understood like, oh, this is why we're managing the patient this way and stuff like that.
Alaba, how about you? What was your order and did you like it?
So my order was chosen for me. It was pediatrics, then OBGYN, then neuropsych, then I had medicine, primary care and medicine, then surgery last. I didn't love the order because so I would say peds, OBGYN, neuropsych, they were very like these were the rotations I enjoyed the most. So having all of them at the beginning really made me feel, by the time I got to medicine and surgery, I had no energy left, like medicine was tough because that's where you actually start to I'll just go one by one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So neuro was, not neuro, peds was lovely. I loved it. OBGYN, that was the one I was really scared of before. I wanted to do this one last because I was just like, I don't know what happens there. But I actually really enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed the patient population, I enjoyed just seeing how they did things differently. It was very surgical, which was the part that I was scared of. But, I dealt with it and we moved on. It was still a good rotation. Then I had psych and neurology. Those were pretty decent. My locations were fine. I was at Stony Brook Hospital. Overall, it was still good. Then things got tricky with medicine because then I was already getting kind of tired. It's the middle of the year. It's kind of like August to January slump.
Mm-hmm.
Medicine was tough because the hours were different. It was just very intense. A lot more than I expected anyways. I like primary care. The one-on-one thing was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got trained by the doctors there, It definitely built my experiences up. Doing surgery last was very hectic because I was just exhausted. By the time surgery came along, I was like, I'm like, it's at the end that you want me to wake up at 5 a.m. to do all these things. Like, I would say I was just so tired every time. No energy. All my enthusiasm, positivity, my smiles by the end of the day, that's finished. It finished early on. So, yeah. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to do it last just because I think you need a bit more energy to deal with that kind of experience, because if it's at the end, then you might just have no energy left, so it's
Right.
already, you're in negative, you're drawing from an empty cup, you know.
Right.
But it was still a very interesting experience, and I am grateful to have seen what I saw and experienced what I did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Me, I had what I later found out was the gunner track. I entered into it not realizing it was the gunner track. If you guys remember, I mentioned that I chose my track, which was medicine, then surgery, then peds OB, then neuropsych. I chose that track because I want to do OB, and I felt like it would be nice for me to have done medicine and surgery before OB. And I knew that neuro and psych were chiller. So I was like, I know I'm going to be tired. It's going to be winter. Like, let me put something that will be chill towards the end. So yeah, I felt like that was a good idea. Only for me to enter inside. And then I realized that starting with medicine is very tough. Like, it is like, you know, when they want to teach a child to swim and they just throw the child inside the river and they're like, go ahead. So that's exactly what starting with medicine is like. You just enter the deep end without even paddling. So it was really tough, but I felt like it paid out in the end, like, because I drowned in medicine, and then I woke up for the rest of the rotation. Like, so I resurfaced and I was like, oh wow, I'm alive. And then I continued. But I would say it had its advantages and it had its disadvantages. But I don't regret it, because ending on psych, hey God, I will never regret that. It was amazing. It was a beautiful way to end. It was just, I cannot believe doing surgery as the last.
Yeah.
Ah, God.
bad for you, honestly.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I don't
But
know.
that sounds like hellfire. God.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be done?
Okay, it feels good, I guess. I definitely burnt out. Yeah, I think I didn't realize how burnt out I would be. Like, I feel like I heard everyone in the year above us saying like, oh, it's really hard because you have to like study once you get back from the hospital. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds really hard. But actually, like, going through it, like, I think by the third block, I was like, yeah, like, I think that if we only had to be in the hospital all day, or if we only had to like study for the shelves, I think that would be fine and there would be no burnout. But I think because we had the pressure of doing both, it's really hard to balance like being present in the hospital while also being like, okay, but I know that like the shelf score matters for X% of my grade. So like, how do you have the energy to, or like which one do you prioritize, because you don't have the energy to do
Right.
both, honestly. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling very burnt out. There's a period towards the end where I was just like, yep, I'm just numb, like I'm just doing it and this is what we're doing. That's like, I don't feel anything. I'm just like going. So yeah.
How do you feel?
Now that it's over,
Mhm.
I feel like I am slowly reanimating. All the blood
After surgery, like you like died during surgery.
Died and we came back to life.
Like, I feel like all the blood has been sucked from my body. And now that it's finally over, every day I'm just getting a bit more blood. I'm just getting a bit more.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
No, like, really. They took everything. My
Yeah.
time, my energy.
Yeah.
Because the thing about rotations that no one really tells you is that it's mentally draining, emotionally draining, physically draining. If there's any
That physical part.
like, when I tell you, surgery is all of these rolled into one. So ending there was just like, you can't beat this dead horse. I died in the very difficult week of medicine and primary care. I was lost at that week.
Yeah.
And from then, even starting surgery the next day, it was almost like, it was just no point. Just beat me finish, you know?
Yeah.
Take my blood. I was just gone.
Yeah.
But now I'm back, slowly. I'm coming back. I can feel I can feel myself, reanimating every day, literally.
wild.
As I get more sunlight or not, as I, relax more, as I sleep more, make up for all the sleep deprivation and, sadness. It really helps just having the break.
Having sunlight.
Sunlight.
I was
Oh,
thinking to
sleep.
myself, I was like, wow, like I'm so burnt out. Like I probably have melanoma. Like I'm so crispy right now. I'm like, this is not it.
Yo.
Yeah, no.
Guys, the day January 12th, you don't understand. I had January 12th, which was the last day of clerkships, the day we wrote our last show. I had that date, like I kept on telling everybody January 12th, January 12th, January 12th. You guys, I tweeted after our exam, I tweeted, I think I finally understand how prisoners feel when they are released from prison. Like when somebody has been waiting for their day of freedom. Guys, I made an Instagram post where I was dancing. I said, God has given me victory. God, like, yo, I felt like shackles being removed.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I'd been imprisoned by the system.
But
Like, med school literally had me
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
shackled.
But that's the sad thing, is that like literally everyone feels this bad at the end of the year. like there's no one that I've talked to that is like, oh yeah, like I feel
miss
great.
it.
Like I
I
feel
miss it.
I
No,
feel like
there's
there are
nobody.
people
Oh
who
my
have said,
God.
oh yeah, like it was a great year, I learned so much, I
Yeah.
knew so much from it, blah blah blah. But like at the end of the day, I think like every single person that I've talked to
Tired.
is tired and is just like, oh yeah, we're just making it through, like I'm just surviving. And it's like, that's kind of sad that is the expectation and just like widely accepted across the board for like this year.
Do you know how I knew that like I was tired of rotations? I think during neuropsych, which was my last block, I found myself getting very angry. Like, first of all, those are very comparatively, they are chill blocks. We are not actually doing that much. But I'll be like, why are you telling me to talk to this one patient? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm tired. I'm like, I don't talk to anybody. Leave me alone. Just let me go home. Like, I was getting my friend myself. I was just upset.
Before I started pouting.
No,
Throwing a temper
literally,
tantrum.
I'll just be there and I'm like, I'm angry. For no good reason. I'm just upset.
Oh my God.
I was upset every day.
Right.
I was so upset. Like, it didn't matter. Even if it's only one patient, I'm upset. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I just want to go home.
Don't call me.
Don't call me. Like, anytime they're telling me like, oh, I don't go see. I'm just like, why are you calling my name? I don't want to see.
Yeah, I think there was a certain point where it's like, okay, you know how in the beginning of clerkships you were really scared to like ask to, I don't know, like even like go to the bathroom or
Hey,
eat and
you're
stuff
like,
like that, and like whenever residents would be like, oh, do you want to do this or do you want to see this patient, and
You'd be like,
and you'd be like, oh my
yes.
gosh, yeah. I think by the end of it, like once you start feeling burnt out and stuff, you're finally comfortable to be like, no, I don't
I
want
yeah.
to. Thank
You're
you.
like, actually, we have,
Yeah.
like, the way I used to remind them, see, we have lecture. I want
yeah,
to go home.
yeah. I started being like, okay, like
excuse me.
I have a meeting, like I'm going to go now.
I even used to lie. I'm not like,
Instead of like, can I go? It's like, no, I'm going
I'm
now.
leaving.
I'm like, well, I'm heading out. I'll see you. Is there anything because I'm going? What's your last
Yeah.
thing?
You start to get more assertive.
any
which is
last
good.
words?
I'm just like, please.
Yeah.
Because, like, people be like offering you learning opportunity. I don't want to learn. I don't learn. I don't learn, Saya. I don't want to learn again.
I remember a surgeon was telling me, oh, it's good to stay late. No, a surgeon was saying, oh, it's good to stay late. That's where the real learning opportunities are. I'm like, see, if I've not learned it since 6 a.m.,
I've never learned it again.
it's already
I
approaching 3.
can never learn it again.
There's nothing to learn. I'm sorry. I'm going to my house.
Say, I can anything I don't learn again. I cannot learn. They're like, oh, do you want to have? I don't want to see it. I don't care. Let me tell you the truth. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to learn anything. Let me go home.
Yeah.
God.
I feel like, but that's also like another thing about burnout is like, I feel like before this year, I feel like I didn't understand why certain physicians were like so like snappy and things like that. And after going through this year, I'm like,
Like-
yeah, I'm surprised more physicians
I'm not
this.
snapping.
You know?
Because
Like, that's
it's
actually
so
crazy.
easy to have a bad day.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Like I have so much respect for physicians who are actually like
Like,
very
happy
kind to their
and,
patient,
like,
but,
huh.
like, and years later they still are not snappy. They like they actually care about their patients. I'm like, how did you do that? Like, how did you maintain that energy and that care for the patients? Which is, again, it's really sad that,
Honestly.
yeah.
Like, so that is going to be it for our part 1. Don't worry, there's going to be more. There's going to be a part 2 of this Return from Clerkship series, so don't forget to check it out. It should be dropping anytime soon. Don't forget to check it out, okay? And don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be the first person, so you can be the first person to know when my videos drop, okay? And as usual, I remain your girl Adora, and you're watching Life with Adabeke.